we are always happy to be at a Soul Search event, and we're doing more and more of them. So we're starting to get to know some of the same faces over and over again, which is kind of exciting. So normally when we do a talk, for those of you who have come to our talks before, normally it's Renee and Anthony who start off the talk, and then Anthony goes into an expanded state of awareness. And I did not realize until 5 minutes ago that he was going to be coming to the talk in a channeled state, in an expanded state of awareness. So our guides that we work with are already here.
We are always here.
Is anyone new to channeling? A few people. Okay. Okay. So normally when Anthony is Anthony, Anthony's always Anthony, although not really. He goes into an expanded state of an awareness and changes and shifts in consciousness. And that's what you're seeing now. The guides that we channel, which largely make up the Ascended Masters, Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, who have been our guides, predominantly our guides for the last, I would say, 5 years. And before that, let's just say we channeled everything on the planet and beyond.
You call us Ascended Masters. We don't.
Yes, exactly.
Good.
So anyway, for the newbies who are new to channeling, what did we call this title again today? Was it masculine and feminine energy? I know we change it around all the time. So is it masculine and feminine energy? Just trying to get a sense of what you are here to hear. Perfect. Okay, great. So,
she will come.
Divine feminine in each.
Divine feminine.
Divine feminine.
Yes, guys, I think you should bring through Yeshua, and then we'll go straight into Magdalene.
Let's talk a little bit first.
Okay.
Let's talk. Who are we really? Are we something supernatural? Are we extraterrestrials? Are we gods and goddesses? Are we? No.
You're going to have to speak up because we don't have microphones.
Ah, yes. We are not gods and goddesses. We are not extraterrestrials. We are not what you call ascended masters.
Although,
if you choose to call us that.
Although the answer to that question, and for those of you who have read the book, a couple of you have read our book that just came out, and we are going to read something from it when Magdalene comes through, but the answer would be yes and no. So they are ascended masters and they are not.
Okay, we will tell you who we are. We are you. And that is it. We were once human beings as you are now, having an experience, a perception of being human. But now we are spirit, as you are. You are spirit. You are all spirit. But most importantly, you are divine.
Wow.
What does that mean? What does it mean to be divine? One. One with what? One with source. Good. We'll speak about source. You. What is source? What do you think it is?
The undivided.
So you can see
Undivided one. Good. And you, sir, what is source for you? Everything. Very good. Everything. You. What is source for you?
Everything and nothing.
Everything and nothing. Good. We're getting close to it. And for you, what is source?
Source is everything divine.
Everything divine. Okay, good. You're on the right track.
Yeah.
Now, is source separate from us? No, it's not. If source is not separate from us, is source God?
Sure.
Who says that source is God?
Sure.
Don't be afraid to raise your hand. Is source God? You say it is. Good. Does anyone else say that source is God? It can be. But we say that we are source. Are we not?
And you are source.
We're getting there, aren't we? So if we are source, are we God? Ah, yes. We are God. There is no difference. Can you say that you are God?
Yeah.
Good. Remember that. And what?
An extension of it.
No, there is no extension. Don't separate yourself from it. Know thyself, know thy God.
Know thyself, know thy goddess.
You can say that.
Yes, I can.
That's why there is a balance here, isn't there?
There is.
The yin and the yang. Are you God? You. We are looking at you.
Don't scare her.
We are here to get you out of your box.
But yeah.
It doesn't seem very sure, but that's okay.
Thank you.
We can be frightening at times, but that's okay. It's to get you out of your box and to think in a different way. Are you God? Say it again.
Yes,
Yes, what?
I'm God. God
Good.
is within me.
God is within me. But are you God?
Yes.
Good. Remember that. You're going to need it. The more you open up, the more you become who you truly are in this lifetime, you will need to know that you too are God and that you too are divine. And there is no separateness between you, us, and the universe.
And by the way, that is really the same teachings as much that comes out of the East, right? So Buddhism and other ancient Eastern texts, the Vedas and the Upanishads or whatever, would talk about, right, our suffering is just this perception that we have of separation.
But we must realize that we are not separate, but we are itself the consciousness, divine, of source. Consciousness human, along with all consciousness within the universe itself. That is what we all are together.
We are the subatomical particles. We are the stardust. We are everything.
Stardust.
Yes.
Yes, you could call it that. Even if you do not believe in source or anything outside of yourself, know that you are stardust, star seeds, and that every day, every moment in time, if there is nothing beyond this, then take every day as special and unique. If that is your belief system, that too is okay. But know that there is nothing but love. Love is the glue that holds us together, the universe itself.
It's the energy that holds us together, right? The energy of love.
Perfect in every way. It doesn't matter what your path is. Because you are source, because you are God, you are divine. Every action, and this is for all of you, that occurs on this planet, if you can go there and see the divinity in all things, all thoughts, all actions as divine, can you go there? Can you practice that?
The chaos, the violence, the death, the tragedies in our lives, all of it.
It is a practice, soul, of remembering who you are again in this lifetime. That is why you are here. We are here just to remind you of how beautiful you are to us. Okay, that is our spiel, our talk for today. Let's allow the divine feminine now to speak.
Yeah, let's have Magdalene come through.
She's very similar to us.
Not really. I argue with them all the time.
You do. That is what we do.
And if I really want someone to listen to me when things are going awry, I ask Magdalene to come through because she really understands the divine feminine. And well,
when your spirit beings come to you, in truth, it is you. It
your
is
higher self
higher.
connecting to everything.
It is the soul self coming to you.
The multidimensional soul coming to
Then
you.
you can connect to whatever you choose, and anything can come through you and to you. Don't be afraid. Divinity is not afraid. You are divinity. Good. Miriam comes now.
All right. She's waiting in the wings, so to speak.
She is different than we are, but the same.
And her name was on the title of the talk.
We know. 1 second, please. 1 second, please.
So there's a shift in energy when he brings forth different energies, and think of it as a frequency change, right? We're all frequencies, really, and we're connecting to the frequency, really, that is Miriam of Magdal, which is more than one energy.
I am Miriam. It is good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Good. It is good to see all of you again. I am Miriam of Magdal. Miriam of Magdal, if you want to say it correctly. But Miriam is good. Magdalene is good. Can I move around?
If you'd like.
That is what I do. I like to move. All of the women here.
Yay.
Men, clap for your women.
I know. But there's 3 brave men who showed up today. So we thank you for being brave enough to show up.
Now, there is something going on this planet. We call it the feminine
Is rising.
rising. The divine goddess is rising again, and I will work through you. Even though I didn't come, I will work through you. You're an interesting being. All of you. All of the women here, I will work
With you and through you.
with you and through you. And I like the roses on your head.
In whatever way
You are
you
beautiful.
choose to work with her.
Know that. Know how beautiful you are. I am here to tell you that. Do you understand me, soul? Good. I am Miriam of Magdal. You are beautiful in every way. There we go. Now I feel it. There's your soul. There's your heart. Be surrounded with women, soul,
Who support you.
who support you. Be with women who support you, and don't be afraid.
And don't be in communities that don't support you. Right? That's really the key, especially with everything that's going on right now. We need to be around people that are going to support who we are.
We've been in communities enough, haven't we, of men who didn't support us. Men who said that we weren't good enough. Men who divided us. Do not divide yourselves, ladies, anymore. Work together. There is enough division amongst us. All colors of hair and skin and eyes. different sizes and shapes come together again. Let the divine feminine rise in all of us. And men, support your women. They're going to need it. And we need men to understand this as well. We can't do this alone. That is why we have yin and yang, don't we?
And that is why, by the way, that Magdalene is choosing, because Anthony's a full embodied channel, right? And so that is why she is choosing to come through him in a full embodied way. And it's a way to say to men or the masculine, right? Don't be afraid of the feminine.
You've asked me before, why do I come through Anthony as a man? He is a man. Why do I come through him?
And there are some women who refuse to believe that Magdalene would even come through a man. But I think it's a demonstration to men that you can surrender into the divine feminine.
Yes.
Yeah.
I come through a man because I can. Do you understand? Because I am woman. I am divine. I am the creatrix, the giver of life, the divine aspect of God.
The Sophia, the Shekinah, right? This is the feminine face of God, Godde.
And that's who you are, all of you. You are the divine feminine and the divine masculine coming together as one. Two become one. Then you will know yourself. But we must rise the feminine in order to get there, so that the divine feminine can equal that of man and go beyond. I wanted to go beyond. But
Of course you do.
we need it to come together in balance.
And truly, right? And we've given talks in the past about the balance of masculine and feminine coming together as one, when truly the deeper teachings that we go into in the book and beyond are really that there is no masculine, there is no feminine, there just is.
There only is.
Yeah. And so once we realize that, that's when we realize our pure divinity.
Do you shake your head, yes, 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 or are you going through a Kundalini awakening?
Absolutely.
Good.
One.
There is. I am that which I am. We are that which we are. We are woman. That is who we are. And nothing, no one will stop us now. What's happening here happens everywhere. Isn't that so, Gaia?
So it's interesting. So you finished the book, right? So we, at the end of the book, it's 22 chapters, which is what I wanted. And it seemed like the book was finished and there were only 20 chapters. So my editor asked me, well, why did Magdalene never mention anything about the prostitution thing that came up in the Bible and whatever, and it wasn't raised at all in her life journey? So we went back and
Should we mention it?
Well, we brought you through, and that became our chapter 1. It's a very short chapter, but it's a monologue of her talking about, your early days. And then, all right, we still only have 21 chapters, and it ended with Yeshua. And I thought, we're not ending the book with Yeshua when it's a book about Magdalene's life. It's got to end with Magdalene. So then we came through and we wanted to bring Magdalene through again to finish the book, but guess who came through at the end instead?
Mother Mary?
God.
God. Consciousness.
Source. Yeah, and the last title of the last chapter is I Am Who I Am. In other words, I am that which I am. And so that was the deepest teachings at the very end to really bring everything full circle, is that there's no masculine, there's no feminine, there just is. There's no separation. We are God, you are God, everything is God. And I am who I am was the final teaching to say that we are just who we are, right? We're divine in every moment and we are God.
Now, let's get back to the prostitution. Let's set the record straight.
Okay.
Okay.
You did mention it in chapter 1, although it was brief.
Chapter 1. Okay. Let's set the record straight. Let's just say this, ladies. I did what I had to do to survive.
And it was, at least you say in the book,
I'm
for
not done.
only about 6 months.
Yes, it didn't last long.
Yeah.
But no one gave me any support.
Yeah.
No one gave me money. No one gives you anything 2,000 years ago. As women, we were nothing more than cattle to be married off to men.
Yeah.
Capital, as you will. That is it.
Yeah.
So I did what I needed to do, and I moved on, didn't I? But you know what I found was love. Love everywhere.
And you also said that you wouldn't have been able to follow Yeshua's teachings because your father saw him as a rebel.
Yes, he did. A hippie, as you call them.
Mm-hmm.
Drama. Trauma. There was a lot of it 2,000 years ago. Much more than there is now. Ladies, don't hang on to it.
Yeah.
Let it go. It doesn't serve you. Let it go. As I did. I am an example
Right.
for all of you.
Whether it's trauma in this lifetime or trauma that you believe that you're carrying from the past lives, right? And some people call that karma, right? That's a belief system. It's a perception. It's not reality. So there's a really great teaching in the book. Don't get stuck on the karma wheel, because when we get stuck on the karma wheel, we're feeding into the notion that we're not perfect as we are, that we're not divine, that we're not love, that we're not God. And so if you don't give it oxygen, guess what? It's like feeding a troll on a bad Facebook page, right? Where you're just going down this rabbit hole of divisiveness and fear and anger and frustration. Just don't feed the troll, right? And so don't feed the trauma, don't feed the drama. And there's no oxygen for it to exist anymore. And then it just dissipates into the ethers. And all that's left is consciousness, love. Right?
Are there any questions for me?
Yes, you had a question?
No.
Oh.
Anything from the peanut gallery? Any suggestions?
Now, I was going to
Preoccupations?
read something from the book and then maybe have you comment on it. Would you like to do that?
I like your boots.
All right, I'm going to take charge.
Yes.
So I thought we would do something. I mean, I just literally pulled open a part of the book. And this has to do with quantum realities and the quantum soul. So this is Miriam having a discussion with Rochelle, the main character. So the book is really our story baked into their story. So Rochelle and Angelo are the main characters. And, in this circle, we can talk about the channeling. If I'm on some podcast where it's mainstream, we don't really talk about that. We just talk about the teachings. So Rochelle's asking Miriam, did Yeshua really raise Lazarus from the dead? Because, on our journey, there's just been a lot of this couldn't be, or how is this scientifically possible? So they're talking about that process and
Yes.
you're explaining it. So you're saying you're sitting here typing and listening to a multidimensional being dictating a story to you from over 2,000 years ago. You have a vision and memory of it. However, a sense of what is real is only a perception of consciousness.
Now, 1 second.
Yeah. Wait, let me finish this next one because it's related and it's beautiful. The whole idea of a universe is nothing more than consciousness in action, creating and recreating itself endlessly.
Did I say that?
You did. That was good.
I'm quite a poet, aren't I?
That was really good, actually.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that was good. Even the scientists who reviewed our book liked that one.
Good. Consciousness. That is what we are, all of us. We are constantly rebirthing ourselves, recreating ourselves again and again and again.
And what's beautiful, this is the whole beautiful thing about why we stay here and do this work and keep doing it, because it's not been an easy journey for us. I won't lie to you. You know, we keep showing up again and again because what we're starting to see, at least in our work, is philosophy, cosmology, quantum physics, spirituality all coming together. That's actually what's really happening here. And so the teachings that you imparted and Yeshua imparted, and even Lazarus, who showed up and we didn't expect to show up, imparted, is that it's really the same thing, using different language to get there.
Should we speak about perceptions of reality?
Yeah, you can. Go ahead.
Okay.
And then maybe I'll bring something else in here.
Perceptions of reality. This is real, or is it? That is the question, isn't it?
No.
Real or not real? It feels real. It sounds real. But is it real? In truth, it is consciousness. It is a perception of consciousness.
So does that
Perceptions
mean,
of all of us.
does that mean that pain is a perception?
If I pinch you, does it hurt?
Yes.
Yes. It is an experience of a collective consciousness that we are experiencing together. We, and I say this to women especially, we can make up our own perceptions
Of reality.
of reality. We are manifestors, and that goes for men as well, of our own perception of reality, if we choose.
We could create because we're creating and recreating in every single moment. We're co-creators. And that's why the power of community is so important and a fundamental teaching to any esoteric speech, spiritual teacher that you speak to. They talk about the importance of community because it's our collective consciousness that's creating a reality as well,
Yes, it is.
including the one that we're creating here in the United States at this time.
We won't speak about that.
We won't speak about
But
that.
even that,
is a creation.
a creation of one's reality.
So then this is in the Quantum Miracles chapter. So it's further on in the book, and you are led to this so you don't get thrown into quantum teachings very early on. You have some time to really get into it. But then you had said, I am who I am and have come through many. I am Sophia, or rather some might call me the Sophia, which is the feminine portion or face of God. Some refer to it as wisdom. And then you said, I just manifest myself in multiple forms through people. But how I show up in those who act in the name of love to teach in unique ways. For some it is through art, others through music, and for others through books or simply healing. So when Magdalene was looking at you or earlier and saying, to all of you, if you want, I'll work through you. It's you choose the way. Is it through your art? Is it through dance? Is it through expression? I mean, this is a full embodied way, but it doesn't have to be that way. It can be any way that you choose to express yourself.
That is true. And how do I express myself through you?
Through my fingers.
Through your fingers. Because Anthony can't do this, can he?
Through the jewelry that I make.
Through the jewelry.
Yeah.
And through all of the things that you create that he cannot do. So I will use the greatest ability
That you have.
Yeah. And I will amplify it. And I will come with you, through you, to you, above, below, to the right, to the left. That's where I will be with you. And I will hold you. I will carry you, if you allow me. But I will work together. Together we will work. Do not be afraid. And we will rise the feminine again, sister. together, not separate.
She's really looking at you. You must have a connection there.
Perhaps. Good.
So do we want to talk about healing?
Healing.
Since it's something that you and Yeshua did a lot together, you talked about the idea of healing, and maybe you can comment on this. So this is Yeshua speaking in this part. So a couple pages later, still in the Quantum Miracles chapter. And Yeshua said, I never really healed anyone. I simply made them believe they were healed. So how was this done? You might say I created a perfect match with their frequencies and then invited them to believe they were healed. I had the gift of speaking to a person's soul and creating a perfect frequency match. Even though healing transpired as a result, remember, all healing is a two-way street. All human beings have the ability to speak to other souls. So I'll remind you again, I am not different from you. You see, we are all the same energy, meaning we are all healers, but most people just simply don't believe it.
I believe you call that heart math now, don't you?
Well, we get into that too. Heart
Yes.
math, the heart coherence. So when you're
Heart
yeah.
coherence.
Coherence.
What does that mean to
And those of you who are
cohere?
old enough to remember Esther and Jerry Hicks, and I know Esther is still around, that vortex field, you know, the new language for it is the biofield, the quantum field. It's the same thing. That's the space in which healing takes place.
Heal in community. Heal with others. Heal each other. You have the ability to do it by yourselves, but it is stronger in community. And that is what Yeshua and I did together.
It's an amplification.
Yes,
Right, of
of
energies.
consciousness
Yeah.
and healing. And your science is proving that now.
Yeah, Lynn McTaggart's work, The Power of 8, you're probably familiar with that. She chose 8. We have a podcast, by the way, which you should check into because it's free, and we interview her about that. And she simply says, you know, it could have been 9, it could have been 7. There was no magic number in 8, though, you know, it's a powerful number from infinity. But they did all these exercises, and the power of the collective healing in community and group brought about more healing.
Yes, that's how it works.
That's how it works.
Did Jesus, Yeshua, say to Lazarus, you are healed? No, he didn't. It was a soul-to-soul communication.
So when you had a session with Anthony earlier, that's actually what was happening. Your soul, you felt like it was a reading, which was funny because you wrote a reading. I'm like, is that what it was? But really what was happening is your soul was communicating to Anthony what to speak back to you.
That's
And
all
that-
it is.
That's all it is. And that's why there's a resonance with it.
So Yeshua said to Lazarus, Lazarus, get up,
Rise.
rise, get up. Soul-to-soul communication. That's what it is. Consciousness to consciousness. He had that ability to do that. Even now, if you were to see that, you would say that is
Impossible. Or bizarre.
miraculous.
Or miraculous. But the soul
What is it?
needs to agree to heed the call. So, you know this, right? And the Reiki practitioners here or any other healers know that we are the instruments for healing, but we're not responsible for the healing. So we simply meet the frequency match of the person we're working with. And if that soul says, yes, I'm not ready to leave this planet yet, then stage 4 cancer is no longer stage 4 cancer. And in some cases it is. And the person transitions for whatever reason, and that's really how it works. Do you want to add to that?
1 second, please.
Is Yeshua coming through?
Yes.
Yeah.
1 second, please.
Since we've been talking about the J-Man, that's what Anthony calls him, the J-Man.
I have.
We're reading about your
Yes.
healing from
My healing.
2,000 years ago.
My healing. My way. Only through me will you get to the Father. Not really. It is what I said. That is all they could understand. But you understand much more now. It is not through me that you get to God. It is through you and you.
And your heart. It's through your heart, not through your mind.
It is through your heart, isn't it? It is through love. And it's always been that way. And it will never change. Know your heart. Know love infinite. And you will know divinity of yourself. Stay in the present moment and don't leave. Love at every second, every moment in time, and enjoy it.
You also said in the book that the real miracle, and I think Miriam echoed this, that you saw the real miracle is not as much healing physical ailments as much as people recognizing their true divinity and their spirit self.
That is true. That is healing. To know yourself as God. That is where we are going, all of us together. Now that is healing. 5,000 years of it. And then some. To know yourself as God and not to be afraid of that.
And to know our power to heal ourselves and to heal others. Does anyone have questions about any of this? Their lives, the healing process? Wow, you're so quiet.
Now you're cold.
Emma. And I have you to warm me, don't I? Do that with others. And balance the divine feminine and masculine. And teach them. And open up your throat chakra.
You need some lapis.
I will walk around just quickly.
Okay.
Just a touch to feel. Again. Don't be afraid. Only love is here. You are only love. And you are divine. And you are beautiful. And you have pretty butterflies on everything. The touch. That's all it is. I am here. In the flesh, so to speak. Again.
Through everyone. That's another important message to the book. It's not Anthony reincarnating only as Yeshua. That's not what this is. Yeshua says he's coming through all of us, just in different ways. It's the Christ consciousness.
Beautiful smile. Je suis. Yo soy. Ego sum. Yo soy. Which language? Which energy? Have faith. That's all. It is me. I am nothing special. I too was once human. But my energy lives on as yours does. In the form of what you call soul. But even that. It is you. And it's beautiful. Beautiful. Souls. Beautiful. Souls. To behold again on earth as it is in heaven. Abunda Bashmaya, Nekada Shama, Tete Makuda, Ekwe Sabiana. I say to you, it's good to see you. I need your energy. Beautiful necklace, beautiful eyes, beautiful heart, and beautiful soul. You should always be like that. And you see,
We have a hard time doing anything in 50 minutes. Because Yeshua would spend 2 hours on this before we would even begin, just to get us into a different vibrational state.
give it to others as you have it given to you. Do my part. Please receive. Give it to others that you wish they happen to do to you. And don't be afraid to open your heart to all. Well done, Gaia. Well done. Pretty flowers.
A lot of attention.
Is this not a miracle? Or is it? Whatever you decide, it is up to you. There is one way, your way. You decide, not my way. Is that another speaker?
Yeah, but she'll let us know. She'll come in when we have
Yes,
to.
that is okay. We all work in our own unique ways. Don't we, Gaia?
We do. So a message for today, or any questions, because questions are really, yeah.
Yeah, everybody of us are so much into towards the timeline of the energy shift that's going to happen very soon. The solar flares, everybody's talking about solar flares, the solar storms. How do we keep aligned? Everybody be aligned with it.
How do we stay aligned with the shifts that are happening right now?
How do we take those energies?
Speak, Gaia.
Go ahead.
What have I shown to you?
Just simply be of love and be in the present moment, in each and every moment.
And who do you stay with?
Love.
Remember, like frequencies,
Yeah.
frequent with like frequencies.
It was kind of like what the Ascended Master, our guide, said initially, right? That, be in community with people who support you and who feed your soul and bring you love. And
That's
don't be around groups that don't. Because, at the moment, we need to be supporting that message and that truth, love. It really comes down to, does this message, this environment, this society, this Instagram feed, whatever it is it feeding me divisiveness and fear, or is it feeding me love? That's it. How do you feel in your body, when you're plugged into something, when you're reading a book or you're on social media? Is it feeding your heart and feeding your love, or is it feeding you your fear?
Be aware of what is around you.
Yeah.
but don't become a part of it. You understand?
Stay in the frequency of love.
Yes. It's so simple, it's hard, isn't it?
Any other questions? Come on. It's when we get deep, like this is what we do in our community, in our membership. We want the toughest questions to come out because it also makes Yeshua and Magdalene work hard.
In a manner.
Yeah.
Yes.
So somewhere along the line, I heard kind of a scenario where Miriam supported everybody, the men, financially because she could. And I was just curious about that because
I will say this.
Yeah.
If it were not for the women,
Mm.
we could not have continued. For they supported us more than your holy books will say.
Yeah.
They were the drivers behind us men. Let that be known.
Mhm. And there was some financial support as well. And
Yes, she
in-
gave
in-
a great deal.
yeah, in the book,
Her
it-
mother did.
yeah, it doesn't get into the details in the book. By the way, this is one book of many to come, apparently 12. But
Like the disciples,
oh, is that why it's 12?
perhaps.
I didn't think about that.
Sacred numbers.
Well, anyway, so in the section on the female apostles, which get introduced in the book, by the way, including their names, Miriam does talk about how money got sent to them in Gaul after they left Judea and had come through her mother. So not her father. So it was suggested that her mother found ways to get money to them because
She
her
did.
father did not support her path. She would also say, let that be known.
Yes.
I'm really grateful for this transmission, this experience. And I want to hold the space with all of us, for the two of you, Anthony and Renee's work, and for also Joshua and Mary Magdalene. And I just want to hold a space, myself and together, this beautiful space. And may just go out to the world in the most loving, beautiful, awakening way, so the truth will come out
Yeah.
through all the churches.
Yeah, hear, hear.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
But through the image of God.
A good laugh never hurt.
So we could do this.
Yes. Don't get caught up too much in your religions. We didn't. At least we tried not to. Although we were practicing Jews, we broke many of the laws, as you say. We were your hippies, weren't we?
Yes.
Your modern day hippies. We were about love and community and source and oneness, as you are today here. But you're not hippies. You're human beings, understanding now who you are in this lifetime. But very good, soul. It is well received.
And by the way, you know how you can all help with that? Giving the book 5-star reviews on Amazon.
That too, if you want.
I know. We had our first kind of Christian comment, and it was obviously negative. But it was only one so far. So, you know. So,
Are there any more questions before we step back? Yes.
We know about your first years of life and the last, but what happened in between? Where were you?
Wait for the book.
that's the next book. That is the next book. We've already started it. But the Lost India years, there's some truth in that. We'll just put it that way.
There is.
Yes.
So another thing, I have this idea and that we are like a radio.
Like,
Uh,
Que ustedes están.
Like a radio?
Yes.
Yeah. So the only thing we have to do is like to find the right frequencies.
There you go.
Do you remember in the book how they're describing it that way? So there's a point. Yes, that's absolutely right. Yeah.
Or it's like a light switch, dimming it.
Yeah, it is like a radio. In fact, in the beginning of the book, Rochelle and Angela are trying to figure out how is this happening to what Anthony's going through, right? Well, he's Angelo in the book, but how is this happening? And there's a point where they have this aha moment. It almost feels like a radio signal, and they're trying to get a clearer message. Yeah.
It is time to leave. We are stepping back now. We're
How
going
much
to
time
dim.
do we have?
3 minutes.
3
Sorry, I
minutes,
got
okay.
stuck.
That is enough.
Okay, yeah.
Good. Well
So
said.
yeah,
well
but that they're trying to figure that out, and there's a discussion about it, because what's happening in this process of Rochelle and Angelo figuring this out is Magdalene and Yeshua are coming to them every night, but a lot of information is not yet imparted, and they can't figure it out. So one night, Rochelle, after months of this, is like, "Why are you really here?" And then it was like, wow, it's almost like the signal, the frequency was finally strong enough for them to start speaking fluidly, like
Yes.
this is happening
That's
now.
how it
It took
works.
a while. It took a while. In the beginning, it was 2-word utterances or just a couple of sentences. And then one day, after them just trying to fine tune the frequency over time, it was so clear. And that's when she said, "I'm here to tell you my life story." And as it's written in the book, we were talking about it at the booth earlier. I was really like, "What do you mean your story, your life story? Like, why us?" So we really went through that process of like, why is this
So
happening?
In the next book, you answer questions
Yes,
like
we will.
Mary,
Oh, actually, that's in this book. That's in
but
this
the
book.
answer is there, that if you Mary Magdalene, if it's true, you guys have
The wedding at Cana. Cana. You understand? Cana.
Spanish.
Cana. Yes. La boda de Cana. Yo me casé con Magdalena. Ustedes entienden. Muy bien. Thank you. Time to step back. I will let Anthony be Anthony.
Yeah, it doesn't go into detail, but it definitely talks about it in the sacred sex and relationship chapter. And then as his partner and his healer.
It is always an honor and privilege to be in the presence and to be received. Be of grace and gratitude. Be of divinity. Be of source. Know thyself, know thy goddess, know thy God. Above all, be of love and share these qualities of being a human being with others and ascend, if you will. I will see you later.
Okay, are you going to let Anthony come back?
Yes.
Okay.
1 second, please.
So for those of you who haven't, because normally when we do a session like this, Anthony starts off the session and then brings forth the guide. So you'll now meet Anthony at
Dimming
the tail
our
end.
light a bit, that's all.
Dimming the light.
There is no pain.
But that was a great analogy. Yeah, it's a great analogy. Anthony likens it to almost like a Christmas tree in a way, where there's all these lights that are coming in closer to the tree into our auric field. And that's when the collective consciousness can speak, and then dimming the lights and allowing just the one light bulb that is Anthony to shine brighter when they step back. That's kind of how they describe it, or how he describes it. Now, when this first started, he couldn't stand. He had to sit. It was a little Edgar Casey-like. He had to be in the dark. He had to be sitting or lying down. He could never stand and channel like this. So this has been a long process. Are you back?
Mm-hmm.
Is my Italian back? All right. He's back. So anyway, thank you so much. And, we'll be at our booth. We're in the back corner. So we'll be signing books. If you want to grab a book, you can come and we'll sign them. And we're also doing channeled sessions there. The channeled sessions is soul to soul, but Yeshua and Magdalene are usually the guides that will come through. And Magdalene also had us start a jewelry line 4.5 months ago. So we have a jewelry line now. And I see some necklaces in the audience. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is so exciting.
Give yourselves a hand.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we hope to talk with more of you for sure.
Mary was